Hey, happy campers, it's Kim here. Thank you so much for listening to the CampTown Hall podcast. We could not do this without your support. Another way you can support us is by becoming a CampTown patron with Patreon. We have different tiers of support you can sign up for, ranging from $3 to $15 a month, and each tier has rewards you'll get from us as you support us. The higher the tier, the cooler the rewards you'll receive. If you're interested in becoming a CampTown Hall patron, visit patreon.com/CampTownMedia or click on the Patreon link on our website. Again, thank you so much for your support. And now, on with the show.
There are a lot of opinions about a lot of things. People have debated over what thing is better than the other throughout history. And today, I think we should settle the score.
I have some ideas. We can talk about that.
Hey, happy campers. Welcome to another week of CampTown Hall. We're so excited you are here.
And I'm very intrigued by the idea of the great debate, which is better, this or that.
The great debate. Oh, you mean like the thing back in like 1920 when they were trying to figure out the size of the universe and spiral galaxies or something like that? That great debate?
No, but I'm very impressed
Well,
that
you're kidding. That's all I researched this week. That's it?
Well, this will be fun. Luckily for you, I have done some research.
Oh, good, because I thought we were literally talking about that thing. And
no.
Honestly, all I saw was a header on a website, then my eyes glazed over, and I'm like, well, we'll figure something out. I'm glad you did something.
We did do the figuring out. So I have some topics that, at least in my childhood and, I noticed in the world around me, sparked some heated debates that were not political debates. Because we are in the, politics debate season.
Please no political debates, because then I'm going to zone out.
No. These are on products that I think you know and love and most people use every day.
Speaking of people's opinions, though, before we get going into this, I do want to talk about last week. We did the Back to the 80s episode.
Oh, do you have the poll results?
A lot of fun. I have the poll results. I have the poll results, and I was the only one, I think, that voted one way. Then everybody else pretty much voted the other way. It was, what was your favorite thing about the 80s? And nobody said the hairstyles. That's a shocker.
Or fashion.
Or the fashion. I said movies because they were great, and, of all the things about the 80s, I'm not going to do my hair the way I did in the 80s. I'm not bringing the mullet back. It's not.
Thank you.
It would be more of a cul-de-sac type thing anyway. It'd be bad news.
The world doesn't need that.
No one needs to see that. And then the fashion, again, no one wants to see me in shoulder pads.
No, I have this image in my head of you with a mullet and shoulder pads.
It would have been awesome.
That's
so it comes
cute.
down to music and movies, and both of those are good, but as far as reliving the 80s, I would always go with movies, but everybody else liked the music. So the music was good. It's not just, I don't have a 80s Spotify playlist.
No.
I do have a 90s, which some people question that, but I don't have an 80s one really.
No.
I just don't go back to that for my entertainment. I go back, for like the Star Warses and Indiana Joneses and Goonies and Back to the Future and all those. That's what I loved about the 80s.
Well, there you go.
All right, but now we're in the great debate.
We are in the great debate.
It's not about the music or the movies. It is, what is it? What are we going to debate about?
Well, I have done some research on some products, and when I was a kid, this was a huge deal. They had commercials. You could go to shopping malls, and they had tables set up that you could sample this product. It's Coke.
Palmolive. Palmolive. You'd stick your hand in the soap and sample it. And
seriously?
don't you remember that?
Well, I remember the commercial.
You're soaking in it. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I don't remember that being debated.
I never understood that commercial, though. Whenever they'd go up and talk to someone sitting at a booth or whatever, and she's like, you're soaking in it. Why would she put her hand in a random liquid she didn't know what it was? Do you remember that commercial?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so it was like, Palmolive is a
dish
soap. And so this lady would go up like she's going to get a spa treatment or something. She'd stick her hand in the soap, and then the lady's like, you're soaking in it. And
maybe
I never
they were
understood
surprised that a dish soap made their hands feel so soft.
Maybe just contextually, I didn't get it.
Because if you go to a spa, you're there to make your skin better, and no one thinks that dishes are going to make their skin better. They just think they're going to make the dishes clean.
I'm just going to put it this way. No matter where I am, I'm not just going to randomly stick my hand in liquid. That's what I didn't get. You're soaking in it.
People were very trusting.
I barely remember that commercial, but I always remember being confused by it because I was just like, why are you putting your hand in a random liquid, lady? That is not smart.
We're not debating Palmolive.
Good, because I don't know. You
But
like Dawn. You use Dawn, don't you?
Well, yeah, because Dawn's useful for 1,000 things. Dawn
like you can give your pets flea baths in it and stuff.
We do. That's what I use. I don't buy flea soap. But no, this debate, it's also liquid, but it's Coke versus Pepsi.
Oh, like there's a debate. I mean,
well, but do you remember that there was like drink A or drink B?
The blind taste test.
Yes.
Yes.
I love blind taste tests.
And it was, you chose Pepsi. And in my family, that was what it was. I don't know if they were susceptible to advertising or if they genuinely felt this way, but my family was a Pepsi family. We would buy Pepsi products. And until I got older, that's what I thought was better, until I made up my own mind.
See, I think we just did generic soda. But I remember my aunt drank Pepsi because my Nana would have to go specially buy it when she would come visit. She'd have to specially buy Pepsi. But I don't remember having Pepsi around. It's just associated with like those special visits.
Yeah, we would all the time. We'd have Pepsi, and it was just like that. It was not like I had the opinion. It was I was told I liked Pepsi. That's how it was. You like Pepsi, Caleb? Okay, Dad. We're the Pepsi family. And until I got older and I sampled Coke and I realized, wow, Coke is so much better. I love it. Then I realized, no, and so our family is not a Pepsi family. We are a Coke family.
That's true.
And you would agree, right? And Connor, our son, he agrees. He does not like Pepsi. I mean, he will drink if he has to.
If he has to.
But no.
He will order water if it's an option. If he wants Coke and they only have Pepsi, he'll get water.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most of the time, you don't see people going, "Oh, I'll have Pepsi," and they're like, "Well, will Coke be okay?" And then like, "No, I'll have water." They're like, "Yeah, that's fine." Yeah. But if the shoe's on the other foot, people are in a restaurant and they're like, "I'll have Coke." And it's funny because the waiters don't ever be like, "We got Pepsi." They're like, "Oh, yeah, about that. All we have is Pepsi. Is that okay? Is Pepsi okay?" I mean, it's like they have to apologize for the fact that they only serve Pepsi, and that goes to show you that Coke is clearly the choice.
Well, I wanted to know. I wanted the hard facts, and so I did some research, and I looked some stuff up about Coke versus Pepsi. And
Coke wins.
Not in the United States.
What?
The United States has a 7 times greater interest in Pepsi.
We're leaving the country. Pack your bags. We're leaving the country.
Well, the good news is...
What do you mean a greater interest?
The United States is a Pepsi country. It sells more Pepsi products than Coke. It is a Pepsi country.
I think maybe because Mountain Dew exists, and that's why,
Well, I talked to a friend yesterday, and she likes Pepsi only because Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, see, I love Diet Mountain Dew. That's one of my favorite diet drinks. If I'm drinking a soda, Coke Zero, number 1. And then Diet Mountain Dew, probably over Diet Coke even, which would be true. So there is. So America is into Pepsi.
Pepsi country. But the world, overall, has a 9-time greater interest in Coke.
That's because the song goes, "I'd like to buy the world a Coke."
Well, they
there you
bought
go.
into
You got your singing for this episode. That's all I'm going to sing.
Okay, now there's a country that has the highest consumption of Coke per capita.
The highest consumption of Coke per capita.
Do you want to guess what country that is?
Well, it's clearly not America, which
it is not.
Shame on you, America.
It's in Latin America.
In Latin America. Brazil. I mean, Brazil has like a lot of sports. They get thirsty. Brazil.
No. Argentina.
Argentina. That's not even like, I guess it's per capita though. It's not based on size. Because possibly Brazil is a huge country, so they might drink more total, but per capita.
And Brazil is a huge Coke country, but per capita, Argentina drinks the most Coke of anyone else in the world.
Way to go, Argentina.
So, but I wanted to know, how much soda does the average American drink?
Too much.
Well, that was what I thought, and I was correct. And so I was just interested in, like, are we getting better? Are we getting worse? So I did some research. In 2000, how many gallons do you think the average American drank of soda in a year?
Yeah, 100 gallons. I don't know gallons.
53.
53. That doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, if you do the math,
over a year.
How many gallons is that a month?
I guess that's like drinking like 4 gallons a month.
Which-
So a gallon a week. Okay, a gallon of soda a week.
That's a lot of soda.
I guess.
But we're doing better because in 2018, the average American now only drinks 38.8 gallons.
So that's less than 4 gallons a month.
So we're declining on the soda consumption.
So what have we replaced it with? Are we drinking more like sweet tea, or do we know what we're replacing?
It didn't say.
Is it just because water is a big deal now?
It didn't say.
Did Propel, because really Propel is like a flat soda. I mean, if you think about it. Propel is a flat diet soda. It's just, it is. That's what.
But I did look at this stat that Coke does have more beverage brands. Pepsi is getting more into snack food brands. So that could be why some of their sales are.
So you mean like,
Frito-Lay and Quaker.
Oh, like Pepsi flavored oatmeal. That sounds
Coming
like
soon to a grocery store near you.
Pepsi flavored oatmeal. The choice of a new and old generation.
That would be like a terrible breakfast commercial, though. Kids, get your Pepsi oatmeal and, wash it down with a hot glass of Mountain Dew. I mean, that's...
Oh, I'd rather have Coke oatmeal anyway.
Coke oatmeal.
Just saying. Hey, you know what, though? Like, one thing I do remember, like, hearing about a long time ago is, because Coke does win worldwide, and I would agree. It has to be. Because Coca-Cola, the logo, is the world's most recognized logo throughout the world. You think about it, like, people go on missions trips to like Latin America or Africa and all that. No matter where you are in the world, you recognize, even if it's in a different language, you recognize that Coke symbol over anything.
That's true.
I think I heard number 2. Don't quote me on this, but I heard number 2 is the Ghostbusters logo. So, don't know.
Fun facts you only get on CampTown Hall.
I don't know. You may have to look at it. It may have changed since the last time because I'm guessing the Amazon logo is pretty popular.
That's true, the smile.
Smile, A to Z smile thing. But okay.
So I did an Instagram poll just to see, Coke versus Pepsi. And Coke beat Pepsi in my poll. It had 98% of the vote.
98%. So 2% of the people that voted
Pepsi.
Were wrong.
We're wrong.
Sorry, 2%ers.
They were flat wrong.
Sorry. I mean, if you like Pepsi, that's your prerogative. I know a few people that like Pepsi. And, we love you. And Jesus still loves you. It's all good.
It's all good. Okay, so I looked at another one. Because growing up, this was another hot button issue for my family.
Okay.
And it's an odd one. You don't think about it being something that is widely debated. But mayonnaise versus Miracle Whip. Now, people think strongly about this.
It's funny that you brought that one up after Coke and Pepsi. Because, again, I was told I am a Miracle Whip kid. What I was told, that I liked Miracle Whip.
Did they sit you down in a chair and say, "Little Caleb"?
No, it's just all they bought, and then they would trash talk mayonnaise, like don't hang around them. They're mayonnaise people.
They're mayonnaise people.
Don't you dare eat that sandwich that they make. No, and I until I got older and I sampled mayonnaise for seriously. I remember having mayonnaise for the first time, and I was probably a teenager. And I remember having it and, feeling guilty, first of all, like I was sneaking cigarettes or something. But I had it and I was like, this is amazing. This is so much better than Miracle Whip. I loved mayonnaise because it was creamy and it didn't have that almost too tanginess that Miracle Whip has.
Your childhood rebellions were awesome.
I know, that's right. I didn't like smoke or drink. I had Coca-Cola.
You had a sandwich with mayonnaise.
That was my rebellion.
Come on. Come on.
I was such a nerd.
So the whole thing about Miracle Whip is that it's labeled salad dressing, and that intrigued me, and so I looked it up. Do you want to know why?
That's what I was like, why are we even putting this on our sandwich? Why are we not?
Okay.
And my parents never took a dollop of it and put it on their salad.
No, that'd be weird. But here's why. According to the FDA, anything labeled mayonnaise has to have a minimum of 65% vegetable oil by weight. And Miracle Whip falls below that, and so it is labeled as a dressing. So
it actually might be slightly better for you because it has a lower content of vegetable oil, which is not really, that great for you. That is interesting that there's a law that says you cannot label this mayonnaise unless it's got a certain amount of vegetable oil in it. Which, when I get mayonnaise, I make sure it has the olive oil.
That's the good kind.
Yeah.
So Miracle Whip first made its appearance actually during the Great Depression. In the 1920s, Kraft was looking for something to boost its sales in the declining economy. So Miracle Whip made its debut actually in the 1933 Chicago World's Fair with the slogan, "Salad Miracles with Miracle Whip."
So they were like marketing towards salad still. Like they were not talking about your sandwiches. They were still like, it is a salad dressing. And I've never, like honestly in my life, never have seen anybody put Miracle Whip on their salad.
No.
Never. That's interesting. So it's kind of like the poor man's mayonnaise.
Well, actually, that's what Kraft was hoping. It was cheaper to make than Mayo, so it was cheaper to purchase, and so therefore it made it more popular and helped Kraft boost its sales.
It's funny, they didn't seem to keep that spirit alive because it's pretty much the same thing now. It's like,
yeah,
you pay $4 for a jar either way.
But I thought that was interesting. Salad Miracles with Miracle Whip salad dressing.
Yeah,
it's catchy.
The miracle is that it's still around. That's because mayonnaise is so much better.
I looked at this stat. I read it 3 times. I laughed every time I read it. So Kraft paid Lady Gaga a hefty sum. It didn't say what they paid, but a hefty.
Well, if Kraft is paying it and it's paying it to a celebrity, I'm guessing it's
to include Miracle Whip in her telephone music video. So somewhere in this video for this song that I've never actually heard is the obvious product placement of Miracle Whip. Now I'm trying to imagine.
Yeah. Did she like make a dress out of Miracle Whip or something?
No.
Isn't that kind of what she's known for, making dress out of dresses? Because
But
then it would be like salad dressing because she's dressed in it.
Clever.
Anyway.
But yeah, they paid her to advertise Miracle Whip in her music video.
That's, again, in my mind, I'm sorry if you're a Gaga fan, in my mind, that's a strike against Miracle Whip. Another reason that mayonnaise is better. So
I looked it up because, Miracle Whip made its appearance in the 1933. So I wondered, okay, when was that discovered? It's believed in France in the 1700s.
Look at that. Way to go, Mayo.
But it first came to the U.S. in 1905. It happened in New York City.
Okay.
In a deli owned by Richard Hellman.
Ah, ding ding. That's where we get the Hellman.
And so 7 years later, he mass marketed Hellman's Blue Ribbon Mayonnaise.
The world was a better place ever since.
The world has been thankful.
Yes, I like mayonnaise. I mean, I'll eat mayonnaise on things that aren't really typically mayonnaise type things. Like, I'll mix it with ketchup and eat my fries with it because it makes the ketchup kind of creamy and it's really good.
It is weird that you said that because I looked up some more mayonnaise stuff because that's what I did this morning.
You spent way too much time looking at mayonnaise. I mean, I'm thankful. I mean, I love the fact that you like mayonnaise as much as I do.
I'm devoted to this podcast.
It's just weird that you're actually spending time looking at the facts.
But in Europe, that's what they serve with French fries and potato chips is actually mayonnaise.
Interesting.
So you are very cultured when you do the ketchup and mayonnaise.
I learned this little secret in another country. Actually, when I was in American Samoa, a lot of people down there would do that. They would put the mayonnaise and ketchup together, and that's
European.
who I learned it. So they're and there's like kind of like this European influence.
Yeah.
There's like the missionaries and all that from Europe. And
so if you were in Italy and went into a normal shop, you could find on the shelf a McDonald's line of mayonnaise.
Wait, McDonald's. The McDonald's fast food restaurant has a line of mayonnaises in Italy.
Yes.
This is amazing. Because first of all, McDonald's doesn't even mention mayonnaise in America.
No.
Which they should more often. I'm a mayonnaise fan. But they have branded.
You can go buy it from a shop in Italy.
If anybody is in Italy listening, and I would love that, first of all, I'd be floored. Please send me some McDonald's mayonnaise from Italy because that would be an amazing thing. All right, I think we've camped out on mayonnaise a little too long. Suffice it to say, it wins.
It wins.
You may disagree again. That's okay. But okay, what's next?
All right, so I thought we'd leave the food and drink behind and we'd head into something a little more popular.
Okay.
Marvel versus DC.
Oh, this creates a schism in our own household.
Yes.
Because you and I are Marvel fans.
Yes.
And then our son Connor is a huge DC fan.
But I am house divided amongst myself because I very much Flash is one of my favorite characters.
That's true.
And Flash is DC.
That's true. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have any value. I'm just saying they have less value.
Less value.
Because you just think about it. I mean, Disney didn't buy DC. I'm just saying. Disney bought Marvel.
Well, that's true.
And they know a good thing when they see it. So I would say Marvel is going to win. Are we talking comic books, cinematic universe? What are we talking anyway?
Well, I don't know a ton about either company. I just know, characters and...
Fun fact, Marvel's better.
Fun fact.
Sorry.
And that's all I have to say
That's
about
all I
that.
have to say about that.
No, so I wanted to look into it and really find out how long they have been competing.
Okay.
So I looked at Marvel first. I didn't realize it started in 1939.
Way to go. So like around the time of World War II, basically.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because Captain America was like one of the first ones, right?
Yep. So Marvel started in 1939 under the name Timely Comics.
Timely Comics.
Yeah. It didn't actually become Marvel until the early 60s. But
Wow.
the Human Torch was the first character. It was introduced in 1939. Captain America came along in 1941.
Right about the time he needed to punch Hitler in the face.
That's right.
Because that's what he's kind of known for. Like, there's the comic of him
So that happened in the comics, too?
punching Hitler. Yeah, it wasn't just the movies. That was actually like a thing. He punched Hitler in the face in the comics.
Oh. Well, that's cool.
I mean, something everybody wanted to do, right? And
That's
then he
true.
got to do it. That's crazy. Okay, so the Human Torch is part of the Fantastic Four, though. So does that mean the rest of the four, the other three, were they around in the 30s?
They didn't come out until 1961 when Marvel actually started being known as Marvel.
That is so weird. So what did he do? Just fly around and catch things on fire?
I don't know.
That is so interesting. Well, okay, so
I don't
there you
know.
go. So Marvel is awesome.
But DC is actually older.
Oh,
So DC came out in 1934.
so 5 years. Okay, that's
was-
not much.
It was known as National Allied Publications, which to me screams comic book.
No, that sounds like you're going to read some sort of medical journal or something.
In 1936, it became DC or Detective Comics.
Right. That was one thing I was going to say is DC does, like, some people might think, oh, it's because, like, Washington, D.C., it's, like, patriotic, but it has nothing to do with the country's capital. It has to do with, it's just an abbreviation for Detective Comics, which introduced Batman.
Yeah.
The-
So their launch of Superman came in 1938, which I didn't realize Superman was that old.
Yeah, I knew he was old. I knew he was like World War II era too.
Yeah.
And
So
but he
Superman-
never punched Hitler in the face. Well,
No.
maybe he did. I don't know, but
I haven't read all the comics, but Superman came in 38. Batman followed in 1939, which I didn't realize Batman was that old.
yeah. Oh, I did because not too long ago they had like the 75th anniversary of those two not too long ago. So
Okay. So I wanted to know.
now they're 80 years old, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to know a little bit, like, really what set them apart, what made them different. And so I looked at, like, their overall kind of story arcs.
Uh-huh.
And so it looks like DC was more of telling stories of the gods, which it's, these godlike people that performed amazing feats to kind of protect the greater good.
So the heroes are very iconic and very like
Yeah, like you have your Superman, your
almost
Aquaman,
untouchable.
your Wonder Woman.
Except Batman, he was just a man.
He's just a guy.
He was just rich.
Yeah.
According to the movies, that's what his superpower is. He's got money.
Superpower was money.
That was in what was it, Justice League or Batman vs Superman? That's what he said his power was.
Yeah.
He's rich.
So they had more of a, the gods have come to save and protect humanity.
Okay.
Marvel had more of an arc of it's the everyman who overcame great things.
Like Peter Parker.
Yeah, Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's he's kind of like
He's
Batman.
a Batman-y.
His superpower was money, but I agree, and I think that's what drew me to. And of course, my favorite superhero of all time was Spider-Man growing up.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can, these nobodies that overcome. It's funny you mentioned Bruce Banner and then Peter Parker together, because here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
When we were younger, do you remember Underoos?
Yes!
Underoos. Okay, so in fact, it's mentioned in Captain America: Civil War. That's what he calls Spider-Man. Well, this is funny. Whenever we were kids, my brother and I had Underoos, and he had Spider-Man, and I had Incredible Hulk Underoos. All right, so it's the T-shirt and matching underpants.
Right.
But then when we grew up and became teenagers, his favorite superhero was Hulk, and mine was Spider-Man. So it's almost like we advertised to each other through our Underoos. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So,
well, you saw it enough, I'm sure, growing up.
So Marvel, the power of advertising through Underoos, and of course they were both Marvel. So there you go.
That's funny. So I wanted to know kind of, what the world thinks. And so I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and they kind of had these three categories. They had top 10 movies, top 10 TV shows, in top 10, like where the fans just got to vote on their favorite movie.
Okay.
And in those top 10 lists, Marvel won every category.
Yeah, they did. Well, here's the thing, though. I get that. And the research is a little bit skewed, I would think, because as far as the library goes, there's just a lot more Marvel movies. I mean, there are like 3 Iron Mans, 3 Thors,
Right.
lots of Incredible Hulks, which they don't really matter.
But DC does have some movies coming out. They've got a Wonder Woman sequel I saw. So they've got...
They're building, but there was a long time coming, and it was, with the exception of Batman, which has been around since '89, actually.
And the Dark Knight series was high in the fan favorites.
It is, and they're great. And so that is like the exception, but when you, especially now with the new way they're trying to do it, it's just like they're having a hard time getting traction with Superman, and there's just not a lot of... my favorite was probably so far has been Shazam, actually.
I've not seen that one.
You need to watch it. It's fun. It's fun. It's kind of like Superman meets Big, the Tom Hanks movie. It really is. Everybody says that. It's like it's big. In fact, there's a reference to the Big movies I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a reference to the Big movies, very subtle, but I caught on to it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I would recommend Shazam. It's probably my favorite so far, then Wonder Woman to be my next one.
Okay. So, according to the stats and different things I looked at, Marvel is the winner.
Yeah, it is.
But, again, I like The Flash.
Yeah.
So DC has got some stuff going for it.
Here's another fun fact for you.
Okay.
Did you know Captain Marvel was originally DC? Did you know
Captain Marvel, the woman that...
No. Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel.
Seriously?
Yes. Years and years ago when it first came out. But most people just call him Shazam. And most people kept calling him Shazam because that's what he would have to say.
So they just gave up on the whole Captain Marvel name.
Yeah, when they relaunched it a few years back, DC did a complete reboot of all their comics called New 52. And when they did that, they didn't even bother with trying to. I mean, it had already fizzled out already. But when they relaunched it, like we're not even going to touch the term Captain Marvel, and Marvel got the rights, like I think in the 70s or 80s to start using that. But yeah, so Captain Marvel, which makes more sense because it's Captain Marvel, not Captain DC.
I have to say though, my favorite thing about the Captain Marvel movie that DC came out, or that Marvel came out with, was learning how Nick Fury lost his eye.
Yes, that is. You know what's funny about Nick Fury now? Okay, so I didn't do any research, but I just know some things.
You just know some things.
Nick Fury. And I see, here's the thing: Marvel is great, but it is not without its issues or its egg on its face or it's things that they would like the people to forget about.
What did they do to Nick Fury?
They allowed David Hasselhoff to play him in a movie.
No.
Yes, I'm sorry to say that David Hasselhoff played. Yeah.
I can just imagine the opening credits. David Hasselhoff is slow running
with the eye patch on, right?
Oh my word, that's gross. Why David?
I don't.
Hasselhoff?
Well, he was big. He was big at the time. So really, Nick Fury.
Was this like after Knight Rider?
This is not too long ago, 1998. I'm looking it up right now on IMDb. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., David Hasselhoff. I mean, he looks kind of cool, but it's like...
So it got made.
It's a movie. Yeah, it was in 1998. I don't know if it was it actually talks about Hydra in it, which had Captain America talked about.
Come
Hydra
on.
And all that.
We're finding this movie.
Oh, I don't know if there's a reason to ever watch this, but yeah, apparently
my brain
David
just exploded
Hasselhoff.
A little bit.
1998. I mean, that's a while ago, but it's not like in the 70s when they were just throwing anything out there.
Well, and he had some, charisma after Knight Rider, so I can see why someone
Well, this was after Baywatch. This would have been after Baywatch.
Oh,
yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so like Hasselhoff.
Wow, I'm so glad that didn't catch on.
Wow. There you go. The things you're going to learn.
I did do an Instagram poll, again, with Marvel versus DC.
Okay.
And Marvel was the absolute clear winner. It had 98% of the vote.
Yeah, and the 2% was probably our son.
Probably, yeah. So, okay, so in the stream of entertainment.
Yes.
I looked at Netflix versus Hulu.
Oh, now see, this is actually debatable. For me, even. It's like I'm a house divided on this one because I watch more on Hulu right now, but I don't like the commercials.
Right.
There's like a lot of commercials. And they do a lot of commercials for like medications and stuff like psoriatic arthritis type medications.
And I love the warnings at the end that, the medication for your runny nose could lead to, internal bleeding and death.
Death, yes. So I like Netflix, the fact that there's no commercials. And I guess Hulu has a commercial-free version.
They do have different, and that's one thing that makes them so similar, is they do have different levels of pricing. And so you can get Hulu actually with live content.
Okay.
And so that's something unique from
So I
Netflix.
get like the basic free Hulu because I actually get it for free through my Spotify subscription, which I did cool. Like that. I'm getting kind of a twofer.
Yeah.
And so I'm not really paying for it, but like every so often I get tempted to just cancel Netflix, and then like Stranger Things comes out with another series or something.
Right.
And so I'm like,
and that's one thing that does set Netflix apart from Hulu is that Netflix, it does have more shows with original content. But Netflix has more current TV shows. So Hulu has this thing where it within 24 hours.
Hulu has the current ones.
Hulu, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Hulu has more current TV shows. Hulu streams TV 24 hours after they've aired on network TV.
Okay, so that does set it apart. It makes it nice.
Less original content, but more current. Okay,
and see that's one of the reason I watch Hulu is mostly for like TV shows that I'm wanting to stay current in. So yeah, I get that. So that is definitely sets it apart.
So right now, currently, Netflix has a larger movie selection, but with Disney Plus coming out, it will be losing Disney movies.
And I'm saying once that happens, and that's like only a few months away. November is when that happens. It's going to be hard for me to keep Netflix.
So buckle up, because I have some fun facts for you that I found on a website. You ready?
Oh boy, yeah. Let's do this.
Okay, according to frugalrules.com.
I'm sorry. According to who?
Frugal.
Frugal rules?
Yes, like RULES, like rules.
Right, frugal
like
rules.
How to save money.
Like being frugal rules.
It's awesome.
Okay. According to them,
Hulu will have a new Disney Plus platform as an upgrade option.
Well, that settles it right there. The debate is over.
The debate is over.
I'm going to just upgrade my Hulu and get Disney because I am looking for. I did not realize Hulu was going to have that option.
According to that website. So that's coming.
What did most people on the Instagram poll say? Were they Hulu or Netflix?
They were Netflix, but it was tighter. Netflix.
It was a tighter race. Okay.
It won, but Netflix had 75%.
I voted Hulu on that.
Yeah. So
it's tough, but currently I'm watching more Hulu, so that's what I based it off of.
That's good. So now I have some rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Oh, so this is like stuff we don't have data on.
I've got zero research.
I'm just going to tell you how I feel.
Pretty much.
And I'm right, by the way. I'm right in my opinions. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, because they're your opinions.
Because they're my opinions. That's what an opinion is why you feel like you're right about something.
That's right. I don't have to like it.
I'm definitely right about Coke versus Pepsi, though.
Yeah, I'd say you're correct on that. I mean, the U.S.
Nobody
overall.
apologizes. I'm sorry, all we have is Coke. No one ever does that. No one.
Yeah. The U.S. overall would disagree with you. They're a Pepsi nation.
That makes sense, though. When we went up north, like Chicago and Mackinac, both of those trips, there was a lot of Pepsi flowing.
Yeah, and you couldn't find a restaurant with Coke.
It was hard to find Coke, yeah. Okay,
that's true.
So let's do this rapid fire, and I'm gonna spout out my
ready?
answer. Yes.
McDonald's versus Taco Bell.
Oh, wow. I thought you'd have been like McDonald's versus Wendy's or Burger King or something like that. But
no, these are two fast food giants.
And since I don't eat a lot of meat, my answer would be Burger King with the Impossible Whopper right now, but you didn't give me that option. So if I'm going to go, I guess McDonald's because they serve Coke products. And
see, I have
Taco
two answers.
Bell. Yeah.
I would go to Taco Bell for the food and then McDonald's for the soda.
Okay, I can do Taco Bell because they do the Diet Mountain Dew Baja. So I like that.
Okay.
And so I can be okay with it, but I don't eat a lot of meat, so really neither of them. I don't go out to a lot of drive-thrus anymore. Except now I go to Burger King more because of the Impossible Whopper. And please,
super good.
Please, Burger King, don't get rid of it.
Keep it forever.
Okay.
All right, iPhone versus Android.
iPhone. Move on. See, I had an Android when it first came out. So I was, obviously you can get an Android a lot cheaper. There's only one iPhone, but Androids come in all sorts of flavors. And so, I got
all sorts of flavors.
Yeah, I got the.
Do you lick your phone? This is a chocolate phone.
You've never had the ice cream app? All right. So anyway, like Android, I got an Android, and it was called the Incredible when it first came out. It was supposed to be one of the best ones.
Was it incredible?
It was incredibly bad. So I didn't enjoy it. They don't make it anymore. But the problem I had with Android over iPhone is the libraries. So the app library for iPhone, it's like iPhone makes sure what you're putting on there is good. So there's content control, which in the app world is a good thing, because like before Instagram came out on the Android, it was only on iPhone. Well, I thought it might have been on iPhone too, and I almost downloaded this like copycat app that wasn't Instagram at all, and it would have like costed me money for something.
I didn't realize that Instagram was an iPhone only product.
At first, it was iPhone only, yeah.
Huh.
So that's the thing I like about iPhone is they can control content, and you know you're going to be getting something that Apple is backing up. And then just the simplicity of use is another big.
I like iPhone.
Okay.
All right, cat versus dog.
Dog. I would like to say I'm allergic to cats, but I'm not. But you are, so thankfully we don't even have to bring it up in our household. If people are like, "Do you like cats?"
No.
We're like, "No, Kim's allergic."
No.
And deep inside my mind, I'm like, "What's wrong with you? Why do you like cats?" So sorry if you're a cat lover, but they're mean. They're evil. They're constantly. Here's the thing about cats, and you can look at it in their eyes. You see it in their eyes when they look at you. They're constantly plotting how to kill you. They're like, if only I was like my bigger relative, the tiger, you'd be dead by now. And you know, they do. They just I've had cats like I'm sitting on the couch and they just come up and smack me on the back of the head for no reason and like grab my scalp with their claws, and that is not acceptable. Never have I had a dog. Now, a dog will protect its territory, but if you're in the dog's house by then, they're not just going to like walk up to you and bite you on the ankle just for fun. They just...
No. I like how our dog will like look you in the eyes, and it's like you have that connection. Like it's really caring about what you're saying.
You know, I heard once that canines, dogs, domesticated dogs are the only animal besides humans that will look you in the eye, that actually will look at you in the eye and engage you through eye contact. No other animal will. They may stare at you as if to say, I'm going to kill you, like the cat does. But the eye contact is only dog. Right there, scientific proof that dogs are better than cats. We don't need to discuss it anymore.
Okay, how about queso versus guacamole?
They're both good, but I'm going to say guacamole.
Oh, I'd say queso.
I like guacamole because it's probably healthier for you than queso. And I'm not lactose intolerant, but I do think that too much dairy messes with me. So, I mean, I'm not going to ever give up dairy because, pizza exists. So I'm not gonna get rid of it. But I do think I like guacamole better than queso.
All right. How about chocolate versus vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
No, because you could.
Now, what are you talking about?
Ice cream.
Well, you didn't say ice cream. You just said chocolate versus vanilla.
Well, because they don't make vanilla candy bars.
But okay, here we go. Nerd alert coming up. Did you know Three Musketeers used to? Three Musketeers was called that because it came in 3 flavors in one pack: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. It was like a Neapolitan candy bar.
No way.
Yes, in World War II, to save money on like sugar and all that, they reduced it down to just the chocolate. And that's why we have only one, which I always wonder, why is it called Three Musketeers when there's just one? But it used to come in a 3-pack, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. Can you imagine a vanilla musketeer?
That would be delicious.
But since we're talking about chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, I'd have to say chocolate is still my favorite. I just like that. Vanilla, I'll eat it, but it's vanilla. I mean, here's the thing. When people describe people that are boring, what do they say about them? They're like, oh, they're vanilla. You know, that's the description for people who are boring, is that they're vanilla. And so that's how
still the best flavor.
That's how I feel about ice cream.
I am good with being vanilla.
Is the boring flavor.
That's okay.
All
right. How about book versus movie?
You know, I'm not a fast reader, so I typically watch more movies, but usually when you're reading, the book is going to be better. The book is going to be better than the movie.
The book is always better than the movie.
Almost always.
In fact, when I was a kid, I could not watch the Little House on the Prairie series because it was so divergent from the book. Like, I was angry.
Well, there was only 8 books, and there was 200 episodes or something like that.
That's okay.
So it's not like they could relive and who really wants to watch Pa make a balloon out of a pig's bladder? That's the only thing I remember about the book is they butcher a pig. And I'm very sensitive to that because I have a pig, and I'm very protective of my pig. But they butcher the pig, and the dad, loving his children, blows up the pig's bladder. Okay, we know what goes through the bladder of any animal. Blows it up and makes a balloon out of it, and the kids are playing with the bladder.
So what did you like better, when he blew up the balloon?
Didn't like it at all.
Or the bladder as a balloon, or they cooked the pigtail and gave it as a snack?
That doesn't help the argument at all. Okay,
both were weird.
Because the other thing I noticed about my pig is how dirty and filthy the pig's tail gets, and it's because of what is right next to the tail.
Oh, he washed it, I'm sure.
Oh, so I couldn't. No, I would not eat that. That's disgusting. What next? The nose? Let's just eat the booger factory too while we're at it.
Oh, gross.
No, thank you. And so, okay, we've strayed from books versus movies. Okay, so books are typically better just because they're, you can use your imagination. And in a book, you can say, I do a lot of research on brain stuff. Reading actually engages your brain, and TV actually shuts it down. So when you think about watching a movie or reading a book is actually better for your brain.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I'm a slow reader, and so I don't have a lot of time, to read an entire book. So I watch movies too.
Well, that's good. I
know what's better for me, but I just know what I do more.
I would always say book. All right, last one. You ready? Shopping online versus shopping in a brick and mortar store.
They're both good. There's certain things I'm only going to buy. Like, if I want coffee, I'm going to Starbucks. I'm not ordering it through Amazon. It's going to be cold by the time I get it.
Oh.
No, there's certain things you gotta be able to try. Shoes. I'm very picky about my shoes. I'm in a kind of a middle ground on size. So a certain shoe will be 11, certain shoe will be 10 and a half. And so I don't want to risk it. And so I got to be in brick and mortar to buy shoes, because I can't order it online. Now, I've never done this, but I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to. If I find a shoe I like and know the size that fits, I might order it online. But I feel like I'm cheating the shoe store, who went through all the work to help me get the shoe that fits me. And by then, I'm just like, I'm ready to buy it. So if I've tried it on, unless they don't have the style I'm looking for or something, I'm probably going to buy it in a brick and mortar store. Electronics, I know what I want, and I'll buy that online. But sometimes I may go to Best Buy and play with it first. Just to see, test it out, research.
Right. No, you were right the first time. You play with it first. You turn Best Buy is your toy store, man. You turn into a little kid.
It's true. It's true. And I typically, when I'm in Best Buy, usually I'll buy what I'm looking at there, usually. Just because I want it right away.
Yeah, I think I'm more inclined to the brick and mortar. Because if I'm looking for something, I want it to be, I want it to have it that same day. I don't want to wait for shipping.
Cool. Well, that's great. So that's it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. So we want to see how you line up with that. So on our website, camptownmedia.com, we're going to be posting a lot of these, right?
Yes.
And you'll get to vote. You get to put your answer for the great debate in, and then you will get graded on how correct you are. Just FYI, you'll get a test. You get your answer. You'll know if you failed or not. If you pick Miracle Whip or Pepsi, just don't even. No, I'm just kidding. We want to know what you think, because we may be wrong, and I'm okay with that. But those were great. That was a fun little, I don't know what you call it, debate.
Things you didn't know.
Great debate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna like fight it out over something. I thought we were gonna get in an argument on the air, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, that poor couple.
That poor couple.
They just can't get along on the air." So,
no, we agree. We agree on a lot.
Same. Chocolate and vanilla is probably about the only thing that we're not really in. 100%.
And I'm really passionate about vanilla, so
it's okay.
French vanilla.
You can be vanilla.
I will be vanilla. But you might not know this, but Caleb is a blog writer.
And so is Kim.
And has written a very funny and very informative facts you may not know about Caleb.
And so has Kim. So we each have a facts about us. So if you visit our website, you can actually learn more about us. That was just certain things. I'm not going to spoil it, but some of these things we talked about kind of work their way into those in that blog. But yeah, check out the blog. We'd love for you to check that out. And of course, if you aren't following us on social media, at CampTown Media on like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we'd love for you to engage with us via that way too. Love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are on the great debate.
That's right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
Nice pause.
Pause for effect.
Bye. That was cute.
I'm going to try again. Bye. Is that better?
That's better.